giving you is not easy. Secondly, I want to pay homage to my Aunt Ivy and my foster mom, Melva Foster. Those two women are two of the most powerful women that I've ever met in my life. And they have been there every pivotal moment of my life. And not one time have they ever disowned me, or have they ever put me down, or have they ever judged me. Okay? They've always allowed me to understand just how special, how beautiful I was, and how I deserved. And for that, I don't want to cry yet. Okay. So for that, I am forever grateful to you, and I love you more than you could ever imagine. So know that. So guys, again, my name is Venus Chandler. I have written a book, A Silent Scream, My Story, My Truth. I am now a life coach. I am a motivational speaker. I'm a trauma advocate, okay? I'm a trauma advocate. That's what I am. I'm here to rescue, okay? And I just want to tell you all, thank you so much for just coming out, supporting, and being here, because you didn't have to be on a Saturday, a gorgeous Saturday. No, we could have been at the mall or getting our nails did or something, but thank you. I thank you with that. So what I want to do is I want to read an excerpt from my book. And since there are kids in the room, I'm gonna just taper a little bit, okay? So let me get my glasses on, and it ain't because I'm old either. All right. Okay. Look, I don't know. I don't know about 7. Okay. My mother's health had declined, and she was forced to live in a nursing home where I worked during the day. After being hospitalized for a year, the doctor came to me and her and told me that she only had about a few weeks to live. I had already felt that in my heart, though. I had been watching her deteriorate for a whole year. I saw the life slowly leaving her reddened cheeks. When I told her that the doctor said she had approximately 2 weeks to live, and excuse me, y'all. And that she should consider hospice, my mom looked at me and started crying. I knew this was going to happen. I just knew this was going to happen. I knew I was going to die. It didn't matter how much I tried to convince her that only God could decide that she wasn't listening, but she wasn't listening. After hours of crying, she simply just turned to me and said, "I'm ready." Over the next 2 weeks, my mom grew weaker and weaker. I looked at my precious mother and realized that this was it. The day had finally come when she would leave me for good. She looked so beautiful and so peaceful, and almost as though she was just sleeping. I stayed with her all night, and there was no changes. I started making calls to everyone to come to the nursing home and pay their last respects to my mom. Everyone finally showed up, including all my aunts, brother, cousin. My mom always just wanted to be surrounded by people that she loved, and she just couldn't really understand why she just didn't fit in. I would tell her that everyone loves you, and you just have to live with that. After the funeral, I was lost. I didn't feel the same. My mother was dead, and it was so many people out there walking and talking who didn't even deserve to walk and talk. I wanted to kill everyone, and that had hurt me in my life. I lost everything that I ever loved other than my kids. No one wanted me, and I actually felt my kids would be better off without me. I was used up, and I was tainted. Nobody wanted me. I decided that I would take out one of the people who started all of this, and that was my uncle. I had an airtight plan. I had wrote letters to each one of my kids. I explained to each one of them that they were so important to me and how I loved them more than life itself. but this was something that I had to do, and one day I hoped that they would understand. I had concocted a plan to murder my uncle with the .357 that my foster mom had given me when I had bought my home. He was a repairman, very handy, and he did work for everyone in the family. I asked him to come to my house to look at my downstairs bathroom. I practiced what I would do over and over in my brain until it became real, until I could actually feel and smell the blood. I needed to make sure everything would go as planned. In my letters to my kids that I set on the mantle, I had instructed for them to go where to go and live. I had also explained to them in the letters to know how much I love them, and no matter what anyone says, I tried my best to be a good mother to them, and I was sorry that I failed them. My uncle made an appointment with me to come back to do some work 2 weeks from the day he initially inspected. I was ready for this to happen. It had been too long, and I did not want for him to live any longer. I was so tired of his voice in my head telling me I was ugly. I wanted it over. I wanted to be free of him. I hated looking at his smug ass face, thinking that he had gotten away with what he had done to me, making people think I was a fucked up individual, and he never done anything to me. I was sick of the fact that he and other people had moved on in their lives, bought houses and cars like nothing had happened, and even breathing. I hated this man because I trusted him. He was my favorite uncle, and at one time, he was a predator. He tricked me just like all the men who came into my life and tricked me. That night before my uncle was supposed to come and do the bathroom, I had a dream. It felt so real, and I can remember it. It smelled just like death. As he was down on his hands and knees, fixing the tile on the bathroom floor, I raised my .357 revolver and put it to his head and pulled the trigger. His brain splattered everywhere, and as the calmness flowed through my body, I said to myself, it's done. Taking a deep breath, I said, I am free. This was a thought, knowing that I was free of the hold he had on me, but I had given my life away. But it didn't matter to me. I never thought I would live to see 30 years old anyway. The morning came, and I woke up not feeling nervous at all. I practically already killed him in my head anyway. But that wasn't enough to satisfy my need to do it in real life. I placed the letters on the mantle for each one of my kids and made sure my gun was loaded, and I waited. He was supposed to be there that early morning while the kids were gone, and I was so wrapped up in my plan that before I knew it, it was well into the afternoon. I called my cousin and asked him, have you seen your dad? He told me, oh, he collapsed early this morning, and they had to life flight him to Cleveland Clinic. Everything that happened that was a blur to me. My only thoughts is that had to be God. I clicked the phone, and I can't even remember if I had said bye. All I remember was dropping to my knees and crying. I mostly cried because I thought I would have to continue to live in this agony forever, and I knew I would never get up the courage to do it again. I cried because I knew it was the power of God. I knew he was dealing with me, and I almost taken someone's life. My life would have never been able to go forward and do the work that I'm doing today. I gathered the letters that I had left for my kids and put them away. I emptied the gun, and then I called my foster mom and told her that I was going to bring the gun back because it wasn't safe for it to be around the kids. I tried my best to continue on with my life as much as possible, but my old habits was still instilled in me. I have felt powerful when I was being used by men. That was how I always felt loved and wanted, whether it was being used or abused. at that moment. At that moment, I was important to whomever it was that was using and abusing me. Men were able to tell me anything because I was soulless. I didn't really feel, I didn't really care, and I wanted to die. I contemplated death and questioned it on many, many levels. I didn't know if it was God telling me to kill the person I was then to become the woman I am today. Death to me meant death of my body and out of this world. Was it really my time to go? Thank you.